and get my video on. And Lisa, can we see and hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. You are loud and clear and blonde.
Okay, everyone, I had such a wonderful introduction for you, so I'm just going to have to say it all over again. And I want to thank you, Lisa, very much for reminding me to turn on my mic and my camera. It's little things like that that really tend to bite you in the heels, so to speak. So now that you can hear me, let me address you folks again. Thank you so much for being here with me this evening. I feel like right now, this moment at the peak of summer, mid-July, it's the time when we're all taking vacations, we're taking a breath, we're stepping back from life a little bit. We're seeing still chaos and strangeness going on in the world, but it's feeling more and more and more as if that's kind of out there, and we can really come back to our own center right now. We're beginning to start to plan our fall when the kids are going back to school. August is going to be this extremely energetic month where we're really catching up with ourselves and getting the kids and family back on track. And so right now, we have this moment to do a reset. We have this moment to catch our breath and say, hey, in this moment right now, life is good. And so, folks, in this moment, I want to say welcome to my webinar this evening. Welcome to my Psychic Hour. It's always free. It's monthly. And I always have this great and wonderful time with you. So thank you so much for joining me here this evening. When Lisa reminded me to turn on my video and my sound, I was in the process of welcoming our old people back. I see so many of you here that are names that are familiar to me. And it's always gratifying to see people returning, because then I know I'm doing a good job for you. And I see some new names that I haven't seen before. So if you're new to this call, I want to welcome you, and I hope that we're going to give you everything that you came here for. We're going to certainly work for that, my guides and I. So everyone, welcome to tonight's session. I have, as I usually do, some housekeeping announcements to make as we get started. The first thing is, and those of you who have been with me for a while already know this, but I'll get to as many people answering your questions as I can. It's usually a handful of people, depends how fast we go, how much time my guides spend with each person. But I want, and my guides want, everyone here to get their questions answered. Very often, your questions are going to get answered while I'm answering someone else's. So even though I might not be speaking directly to you, I want to ask you to please pay attention to what's being said, because the way that my guides present everything, it manages to touch a lot of people. So you are likely to be getting a me too. And if you came to the call this evening with a question, it's likely that your question is going to get answered along the way, even if you didn't have an opportunity to actually be called on. Now, also, in case you don't get called on this evening, I do have an offering that I do, that if you send me one simple question before 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, sometime during the month when I get the time to do it, my guides and I will answer that question for you. So even if you don't get called on, as long as you're here and you stay until the end of the session, you still have an opportunity to answer, or ask rather, your one question. When you ask your questions, whether it's online this evening when Lisa calls on you, or whether it's afterwards when you're emailing, I would like to know these 5 pieces of information. Your first name only, where you're calling from, because that's just plain fun. We touch people all over the world, so it's fun to know where you're from. What your sun sign is, because armed with your sun sign, I can already answer so many questions for you before you even ask your specific question. I'd like to know what you're most grateful for right now in your life, and then your specific question. So 5 pieces of information. And I'll remind you that as Lisa begins to call on people. I'll remind you once again. If you send me an email question after it, remember, only those people who didn't get a reading and before 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, It still needs those 5 pieces of information, particularly your sun sign. And let's get going. Send your email question either to Lisa, SAInc at AOL.com, or to the email right here on GoToMeeting. So let me make my couple of announcements, and then we're going to jump right in. First off, if you don't have the app, please download it, because armed with that app, you can be listening to this program right on your smartphone or any other electronic internet-capable device that you have. So the app is really kind of nice. This date on the right-hand side below that, save the date. Our reunion and retreat is going to be on Sanibel Island, right here in Florida, from September 30th to October 3rd. And I really hope that as many of you as can attend will be coming. I spent the day, today was the day, setting up the agenda for the retreat. And oh boy, this is going to be marvelous. This is, I always try to do a little more. I always try to make things a little better each time I do them. I'm getting little chills as I talk to you about this. We were doing psychic cruises initially every year. Well, cruises are kind of off the board right now because of the experiences with COVID, et cetera, et cetera. So we haven't really had a super duper retreat for a couple of years now. We did in 2019 have a retreat at this same hotel we're going to be going to on Sanibel, and it was our first one. So it was an experiment, and it was beautiful. A lot of our attendees said that's our land cruise. So this year we're going to have another land cruise, i.e. a reunion retreat at this beautiful little quaint Sanibel hotel. We've got a wonderful meeting room, a great staff. The hotel is right on the beach. You've got palapas to lounge around the pool. You've got miles of beach to shell on and walk. You've got restful settings and trees to picnic under and hammocks. It's just an absolutely beautiful place to be. And we are going to have great events, and that's what I was working on today. We're going to have, and I noticed she's right here online, Sharon, who actually has her own radio show, which is wonderful. She's on Om Radio. She has a show called Luminescence, Common-Based Spirituality. Sharon, you look like you disappeared. With that, I can't find your name all of a sudden. At any rate, she was here a few minutes ago, and she's going to be at the retreat. I'm so excited. Now, Sharon does something called nemology, which isn't numerology. It is finding out all about somebody from their name, whether you're talking about their feelings or their emotions or their family structure or what job they're going to have or what's coming up in their future. Sharon can get all that information from the name. And at the retreat, she's going to do a seminar that introduces all of us to nemology and gives us the tools to be able to use it ourselves. So that's going to be super exciting. We have Beverly Frabel coming in, who is she's a tarot expert. So those of you who love tarot cards, you should love Beverly Frabel. And she's going to be coming in to talk about how you can improve your vision, okay? Clairvoyance, vision, to see more, know more, to integrate that with whatever divination tool that you want to use. So that discussion is going to be, that's what I'm really waiting to look forward to. Sandy, I'm going to be doing a messages session where I will be talking to your deceased relatives, which I guess you realize that I'm a psychic channel. My guides like to talk to your guides, who are sometimes dead people, but maybe are Indian chiefs or whatever else. They talk to your guides. They're not so much interested in who the person is. They're getting their information from your guides. Well, when I do a messages session, I get a little bit of that, but I also talk to your dead people. And it's the only time I ever do that. I don't do, you can't call Lisa and say, I want to do a mediumship session with Sandy, because I don't do them, except at the retreat. So if you want to be involved with Sandy when she does a messages session and actually talks to dead people, if you want to see how I do it, that's the time that you can do it. So I'll be doing that. Lori Baracco is going to be doing singing bowls with meditation. It's going to be beautiful. She may also do some dead people and mediumship. Those of you who really are developing your psychic abilities and you want to do something where you can practice, we're going to have a psychic fair open to the public, and you get to be the reader. So talk about an icebreaker. And I could go on. There's more. And we are just going to have so much fun. Did I mention there's a banquet where we all get to sit down and have people serve us and have this wonderful food? Yep. Okay. We're just going to have so much fun. We're going to be up all night talking. There's a tiki bar. We're just going to have so much fun. So as I was, sitting there and setting up the agenda, I'm mentally putting myself there, and folks, I can't wait. So if you want to be part of our retreat, the first thing you need to do is to go to my website and reserve your hotel room, because the hotel rooms are in a block, and it's not so much the good price you're getting, which you're getting a discounted price on it. It's that you're getting a room, because right now Sanibel is top property in the world. Everybody all over the world right now is taking vacations, and most of them are headed to Sanibel. So if you want to be assured of a room, reserve it. The retreat fee is $150, and that includes everything that I was just telling you about. It's lock, stock, and barrel. $150 is your retreat fee, and you get to listen to all that wonderful stuff and participate in all the seminars, and you get to put a tip jar out when you're doing your psychic readings, so you might actually get paid to do them, which would be kind of cool. I hope you can join us. This is going to be exciting. Now, all those things I talked about, you're the first to know, because I just set that agenda up now, and my IT person has not even had time to put it on the website yet. So you are the first to know. So make a note, VIPs. I have a few VIP people here. You're going to have some special attention when you attend the retreat, because I've got some very special things that I will be doing directly with you. Not everybody else, just you, because you're a VIP on the retreat. And VIPs, our next coaching call is August 19th. So put it on your calendar. Those of you who are VIPs and you don't know what this is, on my website, I have a VIP program that you can sign up for. And for $20 a month or $197 a year, you get to be able to meet with me once a month to discuss whatever you're studying. You get perks like the one I just mentioned, a discount on your birthday for a reading, things like that. But you also get more than 200 downloadable audio classes that represents the body of work that I have completed over a 40-year career. It's huge. It's huge. It's a complete education in metaphysics. So yeah, my VIPs are special people. They get a little bit special treatment because they're such great people and because they're doing that extra work to study and learn. VIPs, again, please, and if you're new, check out the new offerings, because I constantly am putting new things into that area as well. Now, our next Psychic Hour, folks, is August 29th. So I hope you'll put that on your calendar, and I'll see you back here then. On the other side, I have some specials. July, we're only halfway through July. So this is just a reminder, you can still schedule your eclipse reset. And this is a discounted reading. My readings are normally $250. So you're going to get this reading for only $195. So if you want that discount with me, this is the reading you get. And it's going to talk about how the eclipses that we repeated in June are now giving your life a reset between now and the next, basically the end of the year, the next 3 months, 3 or 4 months. Okay. My other special is joining my Kabbalah class. My Kabbalah Pathworking class began on July 7th, but I'm giving you until August 1st if you want to continue to join it. After August 1st, we're going to be too far along for you to really be able to make the sessions up. But if you have either taken it before, I will let you join later then, or if you've never taken it but you want to do that little extra work to catch it up, you can still join right now. So if that interests you, It's still up. You can still enter the class right now. It's on the website. Now, my August specials, my first thing is reading. It's the next 3 month focusing on your finances and financial planning. And we'll go for 3 months, but we can also take it through the end of the year. Financial planning. I know from doing these sessions with you and talking to all my clients right now, everybody is concerned about finances. So August, we're focusing on finances. And the other special, if you want to study tarot, and even if you're a VIP member and you have the tarot classes on audio, but you really want to get them on video because it might be easier to learn that way, my video tarot program, my beginner's level program, is now 20% off. That's my August special. It's going to be 20%, not right now, but from August 1st to August 31st. And you can go online and find out all about what that program offers. It's fabulous. It will teach you to read the tarot cards. It really does. Okay, if you missed my free live webinar on the Kabbalah and you want to check that out before making up your mind if you want to take that class, it's about what is the Kabbalah, what's path working. Here's the link. So you can get that link and you can listen to that class, no charge. It covers a lot of information. Okay, those are all my announcements. Lisa, who is our first victim this evening?
All right, I'm actually going to click on one name, but you're going to be talking to somebody else that's sitting there with her. But first, I do want to mention one thing. When I call on people's names, I try to call on new people that have never gotten to talk to Sandy, or people who haven't talked to Sandy for a very long time, because we get so many people in the psychic hour that it's just fair to try to get to the new people like that. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to click on Jennifer, but you're actually going to be talking to Nancy.
Hello, Nancy, who's sitting next to Jennifer.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I was about to say, how are you this evening?
I'm good, thank you. So my name is Nancy. I'm a Pisces.
And
I live in Richmond Beach.
where is Richmond?
And it's in Seattle.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
right by Edmonds.
You're all the way on the other side of the country where
Yes.
things have been really, really crazy out there for a long time now. Are you starting to calm down? You're starting to feel more settled?
Yeah, I mean, with all the are you talking about the wildfires and all that? It's a little bit hot. The heat dome, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a scary thing.
We have
but we're doing okay.
Everybody I know has been sending healing to you guys out there. And,
Nice.
folks, keep it coming because obviously it still is needed. Okay.
Yeah, it is, especially down in Oregon.
So let me take a look at what's going on for Pisces. Okay.
Okay.
Pisces is a mutable sign. And here's Pisces in the first house in this chart. So your sun sign is starting here and crossing over. You see that? It starts 0 degrees here. See that? And it crosses over into the second house. So folks, if you are a Pisces, right now you're going to be concerned about, your own self and your own freedom and what you want to be doing, where you want to be doing it, where you want to be going, because Jupiter rules travel and moves. And you're also going to be concerned about relationships because this house is along the relationship axis in astrology. So if you're a Pisces, you're concerned about moving and traveling, relocating. You're wanting to develop your spirituality. You're wanting to get back on track with your dreams that you feel like you've gotten separated from. But you're also looking at the relationships around you and saying, how can I do what I want to do and still make that other person or people that are important to me happy? So you're doing a little bit of a balancing act. And, one day you might feel like that person you're with or the people in your life that are so close to you are the biggest blocks that God ever created to what your dreams are. And the next day you think that they're the best thing that ever was created and you don't want to go 2 inches from their side. So you realize that you're in a little bit of a quandary because you can't make your mind up. But until you start to step forward into your own dreams, that relationship stuff isn't going to resolve itself. You need to be aware of that. So because you keep getting off and getting back on the fence, you are actually the person who's creating that, wishy-washy stuff. Now, because this planet or this sign is bridging two houses, the second house talks about money and finance. So the first concern you have is those relationship partners, and the second one is finance. And guess what? All those things are mixed up together. So you're like, I know what I want to do, but I can't really see clearly if I can do it the way I want to do it. And then this other person has their issues, and that's really making my finances very murky because I don't know what their plans are. And I get this going off in this direction, and they take it in this direction, and now I can't balance the finances anymore. You get the picture. So if you're a Pisces, you've got all that stuff going on in your mind right now. And since Pisces is a mutable sign, it's not just Pisces. The Geminis are suffering from that same syndrome. The Sagittarians are suffering from that. And so are the Virgos, the other three mutable signs. And if you just follow my cursor, we've got a T, okay, going from the bar that crosses the T, going from Sagittarius through to Gemini. And then we've got the line, that's the vertical line of the T, going from Pisces through to Virgo, which is an empty sign. No planets there tonight. And when you get a T square, that's what that's called. It acts like an accordion that's pushing all the energy out into that empty sign. So it's time, folks, to sit down, maybe with your accountant or with that significant other or other people that are murkying up the waters of your finances and theirs. It's time to do the books. It's time to, I know you want to be a nice person, and so a lot of times you don't talk about the things that need to be talked about, but it's time to actually say, this is what I want. These are my goals. This is what I can bring to the table financially, safely. This is how I can get my bills paid off. Now, how can you fit into that? And what do you have to bring to the table? Okay? But even though you are not so good at defining your position and establishing your boundaries, right now, if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to fulfill the dreams that you want right now. Okay? That fits all of the mutable signs, whether you're a Pisces, a Virgo, a Sagittarius, or a Gemini. That is what's going on for you. Okay, what's your specific question?
Well, my specific question is, how can I help my husband?
Sorry. And so I kind of just blew holes in that one, didn't I? Here I am telling you that if you really want to do your dreams, you have to sort of say, honey, this is what I'm doing. You figure out how you're going to fit it. Okay? And you come right back at me and you say, well, I want to keep feeding into the thing in my life that's blocking me.
Right.
So
you're right.
Mhm.
He's a good man, but he's suffering from depression and he's tired of living, and he's got so much to live for. I don't understand it.
I'm going to tell you a story that isn't going to make you happy, but it's going to make the point. I started out life way back when I was in my 20s as a PE teacher. It was my very first job. Actually, it wasn't my very first job. I had several jobs in high school, but that was my first real career-oriented job. And I would get these girls, PE was all girl back then. I would get these girls coming up into the gym to do their, do the class, and they wouldn't be in their gym suits. And I'd say, why aren't you in your gym suit? And they'd be dragging around, and they'd be depressed, and they'd have period cramps, or they had trouble with their boyfriend. Oh, I feel sick. I just can't play gym today. And I used to say to them, well, go downstairs and get in your gym suit. That's required. And come up and just do the exercises with us. And after you do the exercises, you can sit on the side. It'll be okay. Well, they would go down and they'd take 15 minutes longer to put their gym suit on, but they'd finally get into it, and they'd drag themselves up the stairs, and they'd half do the exercises, But even half doing the exercises, even half, it got their energy going. And I would say maybe 9 out of every 10 girls that did that ended up forgetting that they were supposed to be sick, and they took the class and they did their volleyball or badminton or calisthenics or whatever it was they were doing, gymnastics, and they ended up feeling better, enjoying the class, enjoying their friends, and having more energy to take back to their classes. So
Very good.
my point is that when and I am not a psychologist, okay, so this isn't psychologist advice at all. This is my guides, okay. And this is cruel. It really is cruel. But my guides have done this to me over and over again in my life, and it works on me. Throw them in the water and watch them swim. It gets people out of depression very quickly, but not deep water. Okay, throw them in water you can stand it. I guarantee you can stand up. Okay, so
Okay.
when you make your choice and you start to get on with life, and you include space for him, but you don't force him, all of a sudden he will start to move, maybe sluggishly and maybe in slow motion, but he'll start to tag along, and before long his energy is going to return and he'll forget that he's supposed to be depressed.
Oh, very good. You're right on.
Okay. Another comment about depression, just in general, and this is, maybe this was a really good question to start the call with tonight, because there right now are so many, many people depressed. And, your husband is lucky to have you and that you are aware of it. There are many people in our society all over the world right now who are living by themselves who are depressed and don't even know it. Depression comes when, I'm going to talk about this in an energetic way, it comes when energy is stagnant. That's why calisthenics help. Any kind of exercise will help. Feeling like you're going to lose the boat if your wife is doing things without you and you have to tag along even though you want it, that gets you out of depression, as long as the other people aren't feeding into it with you. Okay. The thing is, you've got to get the blood flowing again to get out of depression. And one of the things I think that has increased depression in our society are all of the addictive drugs and alcohol and sex and things that have come in during the enforced stay-at-home time from COVID. Okay, many people in our whole world, not just here, not just in Seattle, not just in the U.S., but all over the world, have been forced into situations where they couldn't go out. And when they did go out, they had to wear masks, so they felt like they were hiding. And that is the ideal situation to create if you want to produce mass depression. Okay, so just realize that your husband's not alone, and it might make him feel better to realize that he's not alone. And it doesn't mean there's something wrong with him. It means that he's a normal human being who's been deprived of his normal behavior patterns. Okay, and it's hard sometimes to get back into it, to get back into life. Okay, but it's time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And who's next, Lisa?
All right, our second victim tonight is going to be Amy. Amy, can you unmute? Hello, Amy.
I have a feeling Amy is, there you go. You're unmuted, Amy.
No, she's not.
You're still muted. Can you go?
There she is.
Can you see?
I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, you coded now. Great. This is such a wonderful show.
Well, thank you.
I am in San Diego. I have more to be grateful for than not grateful for, even though there's things to be as grateful for, pretty darn good. Life good.
Amy, you're kind of coming in and out, and right now I can't hear you at all. Your mic is unmuted, but your voice is not coming through.
I know we don't have a good connection. Darn it. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you again. You changed, whatever you did, it worked. So now
Yeah.
keep your
Is that better?
Yeah, don't touch anything. Okay? Talk right the way you are. Do not touch anything else. Okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I'm sitting right in front of my computer watching.
Right. Don't move your head. Face the same direction. I'm making a joke out of this, but you know the computer world is sometimes a little touchy, so we'll make the best of it. I can hear you. So, Amy, what's your sun sign?
Leo,
Okay. And where are you calling from?
San Diego.
Okay, now I can hear it loud and clear. Amy, you're a fixed sign, as Leo is, and look at my cursor on the screen. Leo is all of this seventh house. Okay, so it's about relationships in your life right now, or a lack of them. Okay, it's interesting, and I'm not just talking about one-on-one relationships like with your partner or your spouse. It would be any one-on-one relationship with a friend, with your tax accountant, with me online talking to me, you see. And what just happened to you with the sound on the computer is exactly what the chart says is happening right now, because you have got Saturn in this opposition to your sun, and Saturn restricts everything. So right now, anything you're trying to get going involving any form of interaction or communication with another person or another entity, like a business, is hitting roadblocks. Okay, that's temporary. It's not a life sentence. Okay. However, I do want to point out, and if you're a fixed sign, the other fixed sign folks are Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. So the four signs are Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. So if you're a fixed sign, you're experiencing some of that same difficulty that Amy is, where whenever you're dealing with another person, you say it's blue, they say it's green. There's this constant just difficulty getting on the same page with the people around you that you want to connect with. And that's going to continue. You're going to hate me for this, Amy, for about another year and 2 or 3 months. Okay? It's been already going on for about a year. So you're doing good. You're surviving. Okay? But I know it feels a little frustrating to slow everything down and to have to say things extra times and to wait to get feedback to make sure the person heard what you actually said. And in actual physical things as well. If you say, I want to go to lunch at Burger King, somebody else is going to say, oh, I had thought of eating home today. I thought you were coming to my house. Okay. Whatever it is, there always seems to be this feeling of things not quite lining up. So you're going to have to learn to be real flexible in order to do what you want to do and do what the people around you want to do at the same time. Now, you also watch my cursor. This Leo is making a square. It's a 90-degree angle to the moon in Scorpio, making another square, another 90-degree angle to Saturn in Aquarius, another 90-degree angle to Uranus in Taurus, and then a final 90-degree angle to your planets in Leo. So you fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. You right now are dealing with a grand cross. And it is really exactly what it sounds like. It's a cross to bear. It means that every single thing you do gets off to a wow and then screeches to a sudden stop. Now, since you are somebody who's stubborn, you're the person who says that, keep doing it until it hurts. If you want to build muscle, well, keep hitting your head against that stone wall until you get through it. No, that is not the way to deal with this energy, okay? The way to deal with the energy that's going on in your life right now, this month, is when you're trying to work on one project and it comes to a halt, set it to the side. Go and work on a different project. When you're out with a friend and the friend sort of has difficulties and all of a sudden that isn't working the way it wants, excuse yourself. Go and work on one of your own things that you want to do that you have been wanting to take care of at home. And when that comes to a halt, because maybe the people that you need to help you out with setting that window in your house or something don't come, well, don't get mad. Just set that aside and now go and work on your travel to come to the Sanibel Island Beach Resort and do our reunion, okay? Or call a friend who's a long way away, or travel somewhere that you can do locally that feels fun to you. And when that comes to a halt, now spend some time in talking and writing your journal and doing all those things that you do for communication for self that make you feel good. Learn something, study something, teach something. When that comes to a halt, go back to going out with a friend. Did you catch what I was just saying? That's hard. You fixed signs like to work on one and force your way through the difficulty. What I'm saying is right now, this month, you can't force your way through difficulties. If you're on the phone waiting to make an airline reservation and it's now gone on 4 hours of waiting, the universe is saying now's not the time. Hang up and go cook that cake you've been wanting to cook. Try out that new recipe and come back later in the evening and make that call and make your airline reservation in 5 minutes. Did you get that? Okay.
On and off, I have a connection with you. I'm like trying to understand it.
Okay, when you get the recording, it's clear. What's your specific question?
I am trying to figure out if it's even good for me to go back into massage therapy. My wrist bothers me so much and I miss it. And I know I need to get my food and nutrition work on off the ground, but honestly, so I don't know how to do anything excites me, and then I get overwhelmed, and I can work this spa part-time, but I really, my wrist wants me to be.
Yeah, and Amy, right?
Guides have any?
What my guides are telling me from the tarot cards, okay, is right now it's not just your wrist that's an issue, okay? It's also that apparently you are very empathic, you're very receptive, and when you're working on the people you're working on right now, you're picking up so much stuff from them that's not healthy for you. And that might be part of the problem with the diet, part of the problem with getting your life straightened out, part of the problem with your wrist. As the energy builds up in there, you get problems with it. My guides are saying right now is not the time to go back to your massage therapy. Now, in the future, because you do love it, the time will be right and you'll know when it's right and you'll get to go back in it and it will be successful. While you're off, while you have this kind of semi-retirement from it, try out other things that have interested you over the years. And you don't have to say, this is my new career or this is what I'm going to do forever, but see if there's something else that you might be able to do just for a time until the wrist heals, until you're no longer so super receptive that you're having a problem with seeing your clients. Am I making sense to you?
No, I'm been out, but it does, because I want to do it. I just have to be, and I would just enjoy, I miss touching people, but I would love to just do chair massages on women with issues and body image issues and work with them more in a nutrition way. So I have to create a recipe of success with that.
And now
I'm feeling the frustration.
Yeah, and it's because you want to push through that wall and do that massage therapy, but you want to know something. If that wall wasn't there, if you just went straight back full time into your massage therapy, if the wrist wasn't holding you back, you would not have the time to study and put together what you want to put together to do your nutrition work. And it seems to me that really is, I'm going to show you where this is coming from. In the chart we're looking at tonight, which is a horary chart for just this evening, The sun is in Cancer, in the house that deals with everyday life, living, and what you do for a living. And this doesn't say just this. This is going far beyond talk to your clients about nutrition. This is about trying meals out on them. This is about showing them how to prepare things. This is about taking nutrition actually into the kitchen. Give some thought to that. Okay? And for everybody who's on the call, particularly all of the cardinal signs, the Cancers, Capricorns, Libras, and Aries, right now is a very, very good time to be spending a lot of energy on your diet, on your health, or perhaps the health of someone close to you, on nutrition in general. And spend some time in the kitchen. Spend some time actually cooking the things that you have been looking at and studying. And Amy, I think the reason, there's a reason for everything. And I think the reason that you're feeling frustrated with your massage therapy is because you're trying to push in a direction that you're not supposed to be going right now. You would never have the time that will be required to develop the next step in your career if you re-immerse yourself in the massage therapy before the time is right. So you can combine both of these things into something brand new in your business, but you're not going to be able to do it if you don't give yourself the time to develop the nutrition aspect. Did that now make sense?
Thank you. You did it well. I have to re-list this because we're chop suey. I'm having relationships, but thank you so much. And you gorgeous as ever.
Oh,
and Sandy and Sharon, I know those two. Sharon's an educator. I love Sharon, so I would plug anybody who's listening.
Hopefully you
do well, and they're awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. Remember, the retreat is going to be the perfect time to be just as you're going into winter out there and the weather's getting nasty, and then there's going to be this gorgeous swimmable beach in Florida. It comes to retreat. Okay? And I'm going to move on to our next person now. Thank you so much, Amy. Lisa, who's next?
All right, lucky number 3 for tonight is going to be Nicole. Nicole, can you unmute?
I can. Hello.
Hi there, Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm calling from Port Jefferson, New York, and I am an Aries sign.
Love it. Nicole, why am I'm seeing so much love and happiness around you, but I'm also seeing a baby. Or, I don't know how old you are, but is it your baby, or do you have a family member who might be getting pregnant or is wanting to get pregnant?
Oh, I think my girls are a little too young. No, I'm not that I know of. I will watch for that though.
Okay, well, just in case it's you, if you want to get pregnant again, yahoo! If you don't, just be very careful.
Okay, that was not my question tonight.
Just sort of popped up there. But honestly, it looks like this could be maybe one of your friends or somebody in the family, perhaps, that you that really has been wanting to get pregnant. And my guides they're looking at this and saying the possibility is really there. It'll be, I think, whoever this one is who wants the pregnancy is probably going to be pregnant before the end of the year. And
beautiful.
Yeah, and that's going to be, and it'll be a girl.
Oh, yay for girls.
Yep, yay for girls. So what is your specific question?
Well, I feel lost in life. So my kids, I have an empty nest, and I really miss my kids. And so what is it I'm supposed to be doing for my life's work? Now that my kids are gone, they were my life's work. They still are, always will be. But what is it? What's my life's purpose? I'm very spiritual, and I have a very hard time working for the man, so to speak, working that 9 to 5.
Yeah, but you want to know something? There's a whole lot of people I'm saying things to tonight that I'm telling you things you don't really want to hear, and I'm sorry about that. But we're going to take a look at something that you're extremely good at. And it's not something you want to do for the rest of your life, but you are just so good at it. I'm going to show you another T-square. Folks, if you're a cardinal sign, you're a Cancer, you're a Libra, you're an Aries, or you're a Capricorn, you are dealing with this energy. So listen in. Nicole happens to be extremely good at dealing with those details that involve finances and other people's money and other people's skills and abilities and doing things like managing an office and working for the man.
Oh, no.
But you know, the thing is that you're really, really good at it. You see? So what it reminds me of, I just told you I spent today, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm a mutable sign. I'm a Gemini, but I'm very cardinal. And Lisa, of course, is very mutable, very cardinal. Rather, she's a Libra. Her sun is cardinal like yours, but she and I interface well because she's got a mutable sign moon. She has a Gemini moon. Well, we're spent all day working on the retreat, and I'm smart enough to know that I've got this beautiful package outlined, but it's not going to work. So I send it through to Lisa, who has that nose for detail and can look at things like that and know if it's going to work, whether it's dealing with numbers of people or numbers on a page or people skills or do these people work well with those people. You get my point? It's all those kinds of detail things that have to do with working, making a business work, okay? I'm the dreamer. She can put it into effect and action. So can you, Nicole. So I send all my stuff through to Lisa and say, please check this over for me and tell me where I'm screwing up. And I think I've sent something through that's perfect. And she always sends me back all the places where there are big gaping holes. Nicole, you do the same thing. You have the same skill set. Now, does that mean you should never work for yourself? Oh, absolutely not. If you want to work for yourself, great, work for yourself. But, do independent contractor type of work and find out what is the particular skill that you do enjoy doing, and then do that as an independent contractor working for businesses, banks, corporations, whoever's willing to pay you to do it, because you can make their business work. Did you just hear that?
I did, and that makes so much sense.
Yeah, you have this
Yeah.
you have this super skill, but out there in the world, people don't see people like you as being super skilled, but they can't run their car without you because you are the wheels that make it work. Okay? You're the wheels, you're
Yeah.
the engine, you do everything except drive the car. You see what I'm saying? And I know it frustrates you because you don't want to keep putting money, i.e. your time, your energy is money, into somebody else's bank and watching it grow. But if you ever have your own business, and you could because Chiron is here in the second house, this is the house of your own business, the way you can make your own business work is by working for your own business. So set up a corporation with your accountant, put yourself in there as an employee, and give your business, give your corporation the same kind of attention that you have spent your life giving other people's corporations. Ah,
That's amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
That really rings true. Yeah.
So, folks, if you're a cardinal sign, you're dealing with those same issues, okay? You're looking, just as Nicole is, you're looking at really being tired of plowing all of your time and your energy and all the things that are your personal assets into somebody else's water. Whether it's, in your case, it's working for their business. In someone else's case, it might be taking care of their sick relatives or a sick spouse. Or it might be just being in the nursing or medical field and being worn out. To somebody else, it's feeling so uncomfortable. This is the Pluto energy I'm looking at in the 12th house. So uncomfortable not knowing where you fit in, because get this, you can do so many things that you don't know which one is going to make you happy. And to that, I say, find a job that allows you to do them all. because you are gifted in many, many areas. So you're going to get bored if you're in a job that just is redundant and has you doing the same thing all the time. You need flexibility. Okay? I hope all that helped. I see you very happy in a future job. You're going to take the job for the money, but as long as you're taking a job that has upward mobility and personal freedom, you will be happy in it. Okay? And
That rings, yes, thank you.
okay? And I do see that happening probably before the end of the year. It's going to be might even be before the end of August. It's going to be very soon. Okay?
Oh, it's so nice to hear. Thank you.
Good luck to you. And Lisa,
Thank you.
we're going to have time for one more person this evening. So who's our next person?
Well, then our last person for tonight has put a question in the chat room, and I think it will benefit a lot of people. So we're going to call on Sharon and let her ask you personally.
Hello.
Okay, hi.
Speak with you.
It's always wonderful to be here, Sandy. I am from Tennessee. I am a Libra, and I am most grateful for our friendship. Okay, my question is it safe to travel in the United States from now to the end of the year? Or are there any hot spots or time periods where it would be unsafe to travel as we're all planning on getting out of our homes?
Oh boy, Sharon, every time I speak with Sharon, either on her show, because I'm a guest on her show, the odd months on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. So you can always hear us, discoursing back and forth together then. But every time I speak with you, I'm always impressed by the fact that you have this knack for putting your finger right on the point where the greatest pain will be felt. I love speaking with you because that's a skill. It's a skill set. It's okay. We're going to keep sticking that point and make sure that we're right on it until we finally get you to pay attention to it because it needs to be addressed. And we can't fix it, you see, until it's addressed. And Sharon, I want to just tell you, folks, Sharon does nemology, but I know that Sharon is also a psychic. Okay. And Sharon, my husband, Ron, just spent the last 4 days on the road driving to North Texas from Florida, from Southwest Florida. And I spent the last 4 days chewing my fingernails because of exactly the question you just asked. So you put your finger on my nerve.
Sorry about that.
Much better because a half an hour before tonight's session, he walked in the door, tired but whole. He made it home. Okay?
Hey.
Yeah. So here's the answer to your question. And, I know some of us are traveling because it's fun, because we love to travel. And some of us are traveling because we have to travel, which was Ron's situation. But all of us who are doing long distance traveling, I would say for the next maybe 3.5 weeks, are at risk if we're traveling through major routes through major cities. Because, and I'm sorry, I don't like to do this in my sessions, it's political, but there is so much, I'm going to use the term weirdness, going on in the world politically, and that has people tense, anxious, and I could go into so many different other reasons for it that I'm not going to do on this show. I'll let you guys do your own research. The thing is that there's a risk of car accidents. Ron took two extra hours coming home this evening because he was traveling along I-10 and he sat there behind a car accident that never did clear for 2 hours. He never saw what happened. That was so many miles up the road. The road was just totally stopped. It was a parking lot. So he eventually managed to find a way to turn around and take a different route. That I was very grateful for because, you see, Ron wasn't in that accident, but somebody was. So I'm expecting that if you're on those major arteries, and you're going through major cities, that you're going to be a lot more accident prone in your vehicle. If you're traveling through the air, you're going to be maybe not accident prone, but dealing with all kinds of setbacks and changes and shifts. Your flight's going to be canceled, your seat's going to be changed. So if you're on vacation, okay, and you want to be relaxed, expect delays. Expect that things are not going to go according to plan, that there are going to be a lot of shifts and changes. Expect that you're going to maybe sit in a seat that's too small on that plane, or have a person with a dog or a screaming baby next to you, and be prepared to put your headphones on and disappear into a book and relax. Allow extra time for all of your travel. That's huge. That's extremely important. And if you're traveling over the road and you have to go a long distance, if there is an alternate route that takes you on arteries that aren't so main, take that lesser route. Stay away from the main arteries wherever you can. Stay on the roads, again, if you have the time, where the speed limit's a little lower, because those high speed limits, we have so much impatience out there. People are very stressed. And when people are stressed and you put so many of them on the road at the same time, or in the air, or at the all-inclusives, or whatever, at the amusement parks, you end up with all kinds of difficulties that you can sidestep for you and your family if you slow down. You stay away from crowds. If you see a crowd over, if you're going to an amusement park and you see a crowd getting on that line, don't go on that ride now. Go to the ride that has no crowd. Okay? You can control these issues in your life if you have conscious awareness of what's going on around you, and do things on your own time schedule and step out of the speed zone, and you're going to be okay. If your travels for example, I'm going on vacation myself next week, and I have opted to take my vacation in the next town at a beach resort, okay? So I'm not going to go that distance. So my suggestion is keep your travels close to home. If you have an amusement park nearby, if you have a beach nearby, if you have a nice hotel that you'd love to stay in, keep your travels close to home. And all those are the things that are going to keep you safe for the next 3 weeks to a month. I think once we get into the fall of the year, the energy is going to shift. People are going to be maybe less stressed, but also more forward thinking and more back into, okay, this is business. And they're going to be less likely to get into those little, distractions that can cause an accident on the road, or the super rush to get to the park ahead of everybody else that creates that, hopefully, just a fender bender. Okay? So now let's look at what the astrology says about it, because it'll be here in the chart. Here's the moon up here in the 9th house that talks about long distance travel. And it says that there are going to be all kinds of unexpected, unseen, hidden things involved with long distance travel, especially international travel. Okay. The other thing that we look at for travel is going to be the sign Sagittarius. And Sagittarius in this chart is over here on the 11th house cusp. So some of you are going to be having to travel for work. So it's going to be travel you have to do. You have no choice. Some of you may be having to travel to visit a authority figure like a dad or a husband. And if that's the case, again, you may have to do this. So you're going to do that long distance travel. And some of you are taking long distance trips to visit friends, or friends are coming to visit you. And so that's going to be happening. But if you can keep that travel closer to home and avoid going through major cities, especially on major traffic routes, the big interstates. Sharon, you do this work. Do you have anything you'd like to add to that to keep everybody safe during their vacations this summer?
Well, I would just suggest that they do prayers and make good grids around themselves, so that within the grid that they're making, within from where they're leaving to where they're going, that is a safety grid, that they ask all their angels to come and protect that grid.
I love that. I love that. Sharon, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm doing an extensive travel. I am now in the Cape Cod area and then coming back home next week, but then I will be driving from Tennessee to California. And so I was thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I mean, yes, we're going to do grid work, but I thought there's a lot of other people on that road and a lot of people that want to be on that road. And how are we doing?
And the other thing I would add to that is, you know, Sharon, I know you do a lot of you're traveling, a lot of you're driving alone. Bring a friend on this trip.
On the
Or
one to California?
yeah, or even bring different, you know, if one friend can't do the whole trip, do a series of friends. Let them let them come in. But bring somebody with you. Don't be alone. Okay, that's kind of important.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And folks, that's all I have time for this evening. I know everybody's like, but me. So remember, you can send me your simple question, and in that question, include what you're most happy for, what you're most. I keep thinking the word blessing. What your greatest blessing is at this time in your life, what state you're from, what your first name, well, that'll be on your email. And most importantly, what's your sun sign? And of course, your simple question. And I will be glad to get back to you. And it might not be immediately, but it will definitely be before the next psychic hour to get your answer. Folks, it is always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for joining me here this evening. Take my love with you. And remember what Sharon said. There's a great protection, by the way, on my website in the free download section. It's the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, and it's all about invoking your angels and invoking God to protect you. Okay? I'll see you back here next month on the 29th. Good night, all.